Hello everybody, it's Josie here and I'm back with one of my Friday inspirational videos. So today I am looking at non-fiction books again, and the topic for my inspiration for the day is inspiring lives. So again, we're still in January. I think there's always that push to kind of change your life, do something dramatic, do something maybe you've always wanted to do. And I find that reading really interesting biographies and autobiographies sometimes helps with that and gives you kind of the courage and the push to try something new, be brave enough to try it. Because I think that's always the problem, is that we have all these ideas, we want to do all these things, but it's kind of finding the bravery to go out and do them. So these are three autobiographies and biographies that I would recommend that are by very inspirational, interesting people that I find inspirational, interesting, and I hope that you'll get something out of it as well. So the first one I've got here is the lovely Tracey Emin, and this is her book Strangeland. Now, Tracey Emin, for those of you that don't know, is an English artist. She is incredibly controversial in a way because she was part of the Young British Artists of the 90s. She doesn't behave like people would traditionally expect an artist to behave. She's not your typical kind of highbrow, kind of good girl image. She does her own thing. She's very much free-willed and fun and enjoys life and grabs it by the scruff of the neck and really does what she wants to do. And her art is incredibly personal, can be really controversial at times, but it really comes from within her and the kind of the depths of her soul and working through her personal issues. And when you read this book, you get to know what's happened to her in her life, where she comes from, really humble beginnings, some really horrible things that happened to her, but it's taking those incidents, it's taking people that hurt her, people that said she would never amount to anything, and then translating that into her art and being an incredible, bold, out there artist. So I love Tracey Emin, and this book I find incredibly inspirational. It's also very quirky. Tracey is a very quirky person, and the way it's written feels absolutely like a gorgeous, quirky novel. So I would absolutely recommend Tracey Emin's Strangeland. Then the next book I've got here is, I've mentioned this one before, but Brave by Rose McGowan. Now, Rose McGowan is an actress, she's an artist, she's an activist, she's a director, she's a singer. She has so many talents and does so many wonderful things. But she kind of became, I suppose, more well-known in the wider public arena when she came out as one of the first people to speak out publicly about what Harvey Weinstein had done and what the practices were in Hollywood and the abuse and the sexual abuse that was actually happening in Hollywood. And she is one of the founders of the Me Too. She has Rose's Army on Instagram, which is amazing. She's very much a feminist. She believes in woman power, in being empowered, in being strong, in being brave. And her life story is incredibly fascinating. And she's had to put up with a lot in her life. She's been through a lot. And this book charts that and really shows how brave she is and how she has been resilient and has bounced back and has become the woman that she is today, and that she continues to fight and be strong and actually help other women as well, which I think is really important. If you've got those tools within yourself, is to help others and make them brave and make them strong. So highly, highly recommend this book. It's a fascinating read. Her life is crazy fascinating, but also I think it'll make you feel strong and empowered by the end of it. And then the last one I have here is this one. Big chunker of a book. It is Vivienne Westwood. So Vivienne Westwood, again, if you don't know, she is a British fashion designer. She came to fame really through the punk era and through Malcolm McLaren and the Sex Pistols, and she was creating these incredible, outrageous, wonderful outfits back then in the 70s, and she's now an OBE. I adore Vivienne Westwood. I adore her designs. I have a couple of her pieces. She is incredible, but she's so much more than just a fashion designer. She has these incredible opinions and is very outspoken and is not afraid to say what she thinks. She has a huge stance on climate change and what we're doing to our planet, and she's an activist. She is an incredibly fascinating woman. She's written a manifesto, which is incredibly interesting, and her life, again, from really humble beginnings, kind of charting it through to stardom in a way, global stardom as a fashion designer, but yet she is so herself. She's so true to herself. She's eccentric, she's weird. Some people don't get on with her, but you know, she never falters. She is who she is, and she's not afraid to go out there and show that. And her story, again, fascinating life story, really interesting, and you're going through numerous eras as well. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in fashion, her activism is incredible. She stands up for human rights. She's a wonderful, inspiring lady, and I would highly recommend this book, even though it's very long. So that is my inspiration for this Friday. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will speak to you guys very soon. Bye-bye.